Daniel Sports Center, big over a college football bowl preview and prediction. The 2021 Idaho Potato Bowl matchup between the Kent State Golden Flashes and the Wyoming Cowboys. Both teams have had good seasons to this point. Should make for a good matchup in the Idaho Potato Bowl. We'll be over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today, starting out with your team trends. Kent State lost to Northern Illinois 23-41 in their last game, and that was actually in the MAC championship. So Kent State managed to win their division despite being 7-5 and ended up getting to a conference championship. So overall, not a bad season for Kent State, and they're 7-6 heading into this matchup. And obviously, just a tough loss against NIU, 23-41. But this team has had a good season. They've had some good performances down the stretch. And for Wyoming, of course, lost to Hawaii 14-38. Tough loss to finish out the season for the Cowboys, the regular season at least. And they're 6-6 as well heading into this matchup. Wyoming, the thing about this football team, they've got talent. I mean, this is a talented football team, but they are so inconsistent. That has been a very common trend all season long with Wyoming. They actually beat Northern Illinois back in week 2, 50-43. And they, of course, blew out Ball State as well. Blew out the future Mountain West champion in Utah State back a few weeks ago. That was just a couple of weeks ago, 44-17. So, I mean, Wyoming, this is a talented football team. They've gotten some great wins down the stretch, but the thing is about the football team is, I mean, they can have an excellent performance. Like, for example, they beat Utah State 44-17 on the road, and then they come back home to finish out the season against Hawaii, end up losing to them 38-14. So the inconsistencies on this football team are definitely concerning, but, I mean, if Wyoming plays at their best level, I mean, this is a pretty good football team. Like, they started the season 4-0, and they are certainly very worthy of being a bowl team this season. Game will be on Tuesday, December 21st in Boise, Idaho. Your kickoff time is 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Spread's going by Wyoming here by 3. So Wyoming is slightly favored in this matchup. Over-under is 59, so moderate scoring game to a higher scoring game is expected here. FPI is going with Wyoming here, 59.6%. So Cowboys are favored in both the FPI and the spread. And something interesting to mention, this is actually the first matchup between both these teams for this bowl game here. Here's your stat comparison for this game. Kent State's got 32 points per game, so a higher scoring team certainly here with the Golden Flashes, but then again, they're allowing 35 points per game, which is definitely not a good stat, so something definitely to mention there. Pass yards a game, 237. Rush yards a game, 243, so mainly a rushing offense, and then for yards allowed, you got 276 passing, 194 rushing. And then for Wyoming, of course, 23 points per game, 22 points allowed, so kind of the opposite. In comparison to Kent State, Wyoming is more of a lower scoring football team and more of a defensive football team. And 165 pass yards a game, 195 rush yards. And then for yards allowed, you got 177 passing, then 169 for rushing. So defensively, their pass defense has been excellent all season long statistically. Rush defense, not so much. But then for Kent State, defensively, they've just been bad. I'll be honest, all season long, just looking at their stats. Some recent matchups, Kent State lost to Northern Illinois, 23-41. Beat Miami, Ohio in overtime, 48-47. That was an impressive win there. Beat Akron, 38-0. Lost to Central Michigan, 30-54, and did beat Northern Illinois back on November 3rd, 52-47, despite losing to them in the future in the MAC championship. And then for Wyoming, lost to Hawaii, 14-38. Beat Utah State, 44-17. Lost to Boise State, 13-23. Beat Colorado State, 31-17. Then lost to San Jose State on the road, 21-27. So you can kind of see the inconsistencies here with Wyoming. They have one good performance, and then the next week or the next game, they just kind of fall off and don't have a very good performance. And that's kind of been somewhat of the trend all season. Like, they won their first 4 games. They were 4-0 in September. Then they lost every game in October. So they finished out as 4-4 after October. And then they've alternated wins and losses ever since that loss to San Jose State. So, yeah, kind of an interesting season here for Wyoming. Some key points here. Kent State 7-6, finished up as runner-up of the MAC. Rush defense has been a slight issue. Defensively in general has been an issue for Kent State this season. I mean, offensively with Dustin Crum, he has been an excellent football player over the past couple of seasons. I mean, he's nearly got 3,000 passing yards on the year. So he's definitely a player to watch out for. 16 touchdowns, 6 picks on the season as well. So, I mean, yeah, he's a pretty talented football player, and he's been the main starting quarterback for the past 3 seasons here for Kent State. So he's definitely experienced, and he's got definitely the talent to win this game here. Rush defense, and once again, defensively, it's been kind of an issue here, allowing 35 points per game. Wyoming Cowboys have a major rushing offense, it seems to be. If you look at their stats here, of course you got your quarterback Sean Chambers. Really, his stats are, of course, not quite as good. I mean, you've had a couple of quarterbacks splitting time this season, of course, as well. So, I mean, this is mainly a rushing team for that reason. And of course, you got Levi Williams, who's also taking some snaps in the second half of this season, especially. So, yeah, once again for Wyoming, going up against this Kent State rushing defense, I mean, they should be just fine. I mean, passing-wise, they probably won't be passing too much, I can imagine. I mean, then again, they put up like 242, almost 250 pass yards against Utah State, and they ended up winning that game. So you never know, but this is more of a rushing team primarily. So we'll see what happens. Had a tough October, but have improved ever since. Definitely a trend for Wyoming. Let's go ahead and get to the prediction here for Kent State and Wyoming. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. 31-27 is my predicted final score. I just think Wyoming is the better football team. I mean, we've seen some very impressive performances, and this is a football team that I think once they can get into a game that is that's a game that they need to win, and a game that's really important for them. Like in every important game this season, they have showed up and played pretty well. I mean, that Utah State game was, Utah State's a pretty talented football team, and I mean, Wyoming went in there and just blew them out. 44-17 was the final score. So obviously that was a huge win for Wyoming, and we've seen that. I mean, we've seen some great performances out of this football team over the course of the season, but at the same time, once again, the inconsistencies have been an issue for Wyoming. And I mean, Kent State's also very talented. I could see Kent State easily winning this game. They're very capable of doing so, but I'm going to go with Wyoming here, 60% chance. I just think the matchup is pretty good for Wyoming. I mean, Kent State defensively is just not very good, and I mean, Wyoming offensively isn't very good either. But I mean, then again, I think defense wins this game for Wyoming, and they get the win, 31-27, and they score a decent amount of points as well in the process. Over/under is 59. I'm going to take the under for this game as well, just barely at 58 total points. Could easily see it going either way with the over/under. Definitely something to watch out for, and I do expect Wyoming to cover the spread as well, which is currently 3 points, and I've got Wyoming winning by 4. Anyway, that being said, that wraps it up for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this game, and I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you later.